Hey everyone, today we are continuing on 2-3, which is standard form, and today we're going to specifically look at the application in standard form is to once again answer the questions that you may have, such as why are we learning this, are we ever going to use it in real life, right? Things like that. And this week it should be very straightforward. I don't plan to stay too long on this lesson. In this lesson, there are 6 problems which is going to be included in your homework, and I'm just going to teach it through the homework because I'm going to explain how you work on each part of the homework step by step, so that way you could kind of just have one problem as a reference, so that we could do problem number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 after that, and there are 6 problems total. So in standard form, we use standard form to set up an equations related to total cost of usually 2 different items. Look at my fingers. There's 2 different items with different cost. So let's take a look at example number 1. Right? Number 1 it says a 100-point test has X questions worth 2 points per question and Y questions worth 4 points per question. And in part A ask you if so. We first there are a couple information such as a test is worth 100 points, and there are some questions worth 2 points, or there's some questions worth 4 points. But you know that the total number of points is 100 points. So we need to have some letters to define these types of questions, because there are 2 different types of questions. There's a 2-point questions and there is a 4-point question. So it says in part A, if X represents the number of 2-point questions, what does the variable Y represent? And as a starter for number 1, I have a sentence frame started for you. So you're going to say the variable Y represents the number of 4-point questions. Okay. And in part B, it says write an equation in standard form that describes all possible number of questions that may be on the test. So you notice that there are some questions that are 2 points, and there are some questions that are 4 points. Now, I don't know how many questions are there that worth 2 points, so let's say X number of questions. To find the total number of points, you multiply the 2 and the X, right? Because that's the number of points for the 2, and the X is the number of questions. To calculate the total of points for just this part of the test, you multiply 2 and the X. So you're going to put 2X, okay? And so likewise, for the number of 4 points questions, well, I don't know how many questions are there that were 4 points, so I'm going to just use Y. And if each problem was 4 points, then to find the total number of points for this part of the test, you're going to multiply these 2 things, so which is 4 and the Y, so you put 4Y here. So you have 2 parts of the test. Some of them worth 2 points and some of them worth 4 points. And if you were to find out the total number of points, you're going to add up these 2 parts of the test, and then the total number of points for the test would be 100. So therefore, for part B, your standard form is going to be 2x plus 4y is equal to 100. Then part C, it says if you have 24 questions worth 4 points per question, how many questions will be worth 2 points per question? And show work and answer in complete sentence. Well, since you did part B already, you're going to first copy the standard form from part B. So 2x plus 4y is equal to 100. Now, you know ahead of time, from the problem, it tells you that there are 24 questions that were 4 points. Now, let's see if you remember. Which of these letters, is it X or is it Y, indicates the number of 4-point questions? Which one was it? So if you don't remember, we go back to part A. It says X is the number of 2 points questions and Y is the number of 4 points questions. So that means the 24, it's going to belong to the Y. So you're going to rewrite 2x plus 4, and for the Y, you're going to replace it with 24 like this, right? Is equal to 100. And then from there, you're going to solve the equation, right? So this is a equation that you have learned how to solve since topic 1. So let's do that. So on my calculator, I'm going to find out what's 24 times 4. And you don't have to show work on that. Just put it in your calculator. So 4 times 24, which equals to 96, is equal to 100, like this. Well, to solve this equation, you already learned how to do that since topic 1. So you're going to subtract 96 on both sides. So minus 96 minus 96. Okay. You cross out the 96 positive and negative, so you're left with 2x is equal to 4, because 100 minus 96 is 4. Well, 2 times what number is 4? So from there, you don't really have to show work. You kind of already know that 2 times 2 is 4. So that means x is equal to 2. That means there are 2 problems on the test that will worth 2 points. So you're going to write as a complete sentence right here. Now you notice I started this sentence for you already. So all you have to do is to fill out the number 2 there, okay? And that's how you do number 1. So you're going to follow this style of work and do problem number 2, problem number 3, 4, and then on the second page, 5 and 6. Now to give you a head, the answers, right? Like for example, for number 2, your answer at the end, you should have the number 26, right? For part C. And then for number 3, again for part C, you should have the number 3 somewhere in your answer. Of course, you cannot just write 3, because you have to write the whole complete sentence, but your answer should involve the number 3 as a way to check your answer. And then same thing for likewise for number 4, you should have the number 40 as part of your answer. So I'm kind of giving you these critical numbers where you need, that these numbers have to be within as part of your complete sentence or as part of the answers to the questions that were asked in part C of every single problem. Okay, so let's do one more that has to do actually with the cost. So I would like you to take a look at question number 6, right? If you take a look at question number 6, you notice that this question is very familiar. You probably have seen it in the previous homework that I assigned to you. So let's take a look at number 6. Number 6 says a family bought 3 adult tickets and 5 child tickets to a movie. The total cost for all the tickets is $66. So in part A, it says use A for adult and C for child. Define the variables. So first you have to tell me, well, we know that there are different numbers of tickets, but we don't know their cost to find out the total cost. So we're going to define variables to indicate, let each variable indicate the cost of something. So it says the variable A represents the cost of one, is it adult tickets or child's tickets? So you have to go back to part A here. It says A for adult. So you're going to say, this is 1 adult tickets. And then for the variable C represents, now you do not put child's tickets. If you put child's tickets, it's going to be wrong. Yeah, it's something about the child's tickets. You write the cost of 1 child ticket, like this, okay? Then part B, it says write an equation in standard form that describes all possible cost of all tickets. So I'm going to leave that up to you, but it should be something A plus something B is equal to 66, because you have to add the 2 types of tickets, and then these total add up together. That will be the grand total of $66, right? And then for number 6, part C, again, I'm gonna leave that up to you, but you should have the number 12 as part of your sentence. Likewise, for number 5, since I'm giving you most of the answers, might as well give you this one. For number 5, at the end for your complete sentence, you should have the number 2 as part of your complete sentence, okay? So that way you could quickly check your answer before you submit your work online, okay? And that's pretty much it for this applications of standard form 2-3. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.